Hi everybody and welcome back to some more MotoGP 19 here on this channel. I'm KPG-GOONER here and this is part number 2 of my career walkthrough. Now we're just about to jump into the next round in this Red Bull Rookies Cup and we go to the Netherlands and we've got Assen. Now we've won 2 out of 2 so far, but if we win this third race quite easily then we'll put the difficulty up again. Now let's get straight into this. I'm really looking forward to this because Assen is a very good circuit, so let's get straight into it. So here we go.
Few minutes to go before we see the first bikes take to the track for that all-important qualifying session.
Right, so it looks like the qualifying session is going to be in wet conditions. So it's not actually raining, but the circuit's going to be wet. So that means we're going to be on wet tyres. And this is our first experience in wet conditions. So this should be interesting. Now let's just double check we're on the wet tyres, because on previous MotoGP games you had to do it manually or it just sent you out on slicks. So we've definitely got wets on. Let's go straight out on the circuit and see how quick we can go in the wet. I can see a lot of crashes happening today, just a feeling. Let's go straight out there and see what it's like. Well, we're definitely getting a little bit quicker, so that was a 1:58, but still just over a second and a half off the pace. Let's see if we can take a little bit more through that corner, and almost just got run off by one of the other riders there. God, they're really aggressive in that first turn, so we're going to have to be careful with that in the race. Right, let's try and get a little bit tighter, struggling a little bit. I think I might make an adjustment in a minute. It's still understeering. I might do a manual setup. Right, to get nice and tight. Not feeling very confident around that corner. And try not to accelerate too hard, but the tyres have worn quite quickly considering it's still very wet. I thought once it dries up a bit they might chew up a bit, but we still don't know what the conditions are going to be like in the race. Is it going to be wet, is it going to be raining, or is it going to be dry? God, if it's dry hopefully we can push a little bit harder, but we're up on the time at that second sector. That's good. Let's see if we can just push it into the third sector. That's where we drop time on the last lap. Right, slow it down, got the outside. God, we've got a little bit too deep into that corner, but set us up for the next one. Just didn't want to run into that other rider. And just hold it. Still not 100% confident on these tyres. God, it's still just trying to put the power down. Even on this low powered bike, it still gives you quite a massive reaction, especially when those tyres start wearing down. Right, let's see if we... Oh, we're up on the time. This is going to be a good lap. Let's see if we can nail this final chicane, which is always tricky. We mucked it up on the last lap. Let's see if we can nail it this time. Slow it down. Slow it down. Oh, we got into there a little bit too hard. Oh, no, that's going to be muck it up. Are we going to get a penalty? Oh, no, it's not an invalid lap. Oh, well, I'll take that. And over the finish line. So we just managed to do a 1:55.6. Is that going to be fast enough? Well, we're going to find out. Right, so that is qualifying over and we've taken pole position in those wet conditions, but what is the race going to be like? Is it going to be raining? Is it going to be just a wet circuit, or is it going to be dry? We're going to find out very soon, but I reckon if the conditions do brighten up and it is dry, the race is going to be totally different. So let's get straight into it and see if we can get ourselves on the podium again. So here I go.
Greetings from Assen to all the fans. We're bringing you live coverage of the Dutch Grand Prix. As you can tell from the footage, we're broadcasting from the track. We're looking forward to great weather for the race. Just a few minutes to go until the Grand Prix begins. Assen, the motorbike university, is once again ready to put everyone to the test.
Here we go with the Dutch Grand Prix around the Assen circuit. Let's see if we can get a fantastic start in these awesome conditions. So it's all go. It's not a bad start. Can we get into that first corner before they come in the inside? If we can get a good start in these conditions, hopefully we can really push this bike around this circuit now. And hold it. And we're being forced out wide, but we've managed just to hold the position. And let's just try and hold it in these other slow corners. This is such a tricky part of the circuit. Just think when you get onto the bigger bikes around here, it's going to be very tough trying to power out these turns. And oh, there's been a crash. Someone's crashed behind us. And I was expecting there to be crashes. And we've managed to get away really well. Now let's see if we can set some decent lap times and we're going to have a lot more grip in these dry conditions, so we can really go for it. And if we win this race relatively easily, then I will up the level after this race for the second race in the episode. But at the moment, they're keeping pace with us. I'm not pulling away, still 0.7 behind. Let's see if we can just get this first lap out of the way and try not to make any mistakes. Why, we've got plenty of grip. Now these tyres, how long are they going to last in these conditions, I wonder, because there's a lot of turns around this circuit. Just try and hold it nice around there. And the second race in today's episode is in Germany and the Sachsenring, which is a very challenging circuit, and that is going to be a very interesting one. I'm really looking forward to that one. Let's see if we can take a little bit more speed through here this time. Right, let's see if we can get through that last chicane a little bit better than we did in qualifying. We did make a few adjustments to the bike because it wasn't responding very well through here. Let's see if those adjustments made a difference. Oh, nicely done. That's what we wanted to do. And we're through there really nicely. Right, let's see if we can push a little bit harder on this second lap and really start to put some distance between us and second place. Right, let's see if it drops into that corner a little bit better. Oh, that is much better. There's a lot of riders that have just pulled into that first corner. Let's try and hold it, and that's nicely done. Oh, someone's come off, and I'm sort of expecting there to be quite a few crashes on those corners at the start of this circuit because they're so tough, and you'll get riders go 3-4 wide around those turns trying to battle for a position. Luckily, we managed to escape that at the start. We almost got forced off the circuit, and we've just managed to pull just over a second lead. So far we're doing really well, so we're definitely probably going to up the level after this race. I think we can go up another 5%. It's just a matter of getting the balance, so let's keep it nice and steady. But I think the Germany circuit, Sachsenring, is going to be very tough, so putting the level up and going on that one is going to be an awesome race, I'm pretty sure of that. Right, that's not too bad. And also, we don't know what conditions we're going to get. I mean, I think 9 times out of 10, every time I seem to race around the Sachsenring, it's always raining. So I'm probably going to expect a rain or a wet race at least. Right, let's try and hold it. Oh, that's nicely done through there. Really starting to open the taps and pull away. If we can just extend our lead, we can have a nice, comfortable third lap, and I think we're just over 2 seconds ahead. Right, let's see if we can nail this chicane again like we did on the first lap. And oh, that is just nice. If only we did that in qualifying. I can't believe we actually got away with that. I was expecting to get a penalty, but it didn't give us one, so I ain't going to complain. And we just hit a 1:52, so that is a decent lap time. Let's see if we can just push it a little bit more. We've still got plenty of grip on these tyres. They're definitely okay in the 4 laps. I'm wondering if the laps will be different around the Sachsenring, because that's a short circuit. Normally when you do that one, even on the lower percent, you do more laps. It might be 5 or 6 laps around there, so that'd be interesting on the tyres. And like I said, I'm not sure what conditions we're going to get. And we are just pulling away, almost 3 seconds now. This is going just the way we wanted it to go, and hopefully if we do really well in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, that we'll get a good sponsor for Moto3. But what I'll do is I'll let you guys decide when we get to that point and put it to a vote, or if you don't get to vote on the first team, I'll definitely put it to a vote for the second team, because you can change teams throughout the season. You always get opportunities, I think. It's nicely done. And these tyres, they're holding up really well. Let's see if we can get an even faster lap. So we did a 1:52. Let's see if we can go a little bit quicker. It's nicely done. And then we've got one more lap to go. Slow down. Come on, let's do this again. Yeah, we're definitely nailing that chicane now. The bike just needed a few adjustments. Now it's feeling a lot better, so I might save this out. So that was a 1:52. So That was slightly quicker. Let's see if we can go even faster on this final lap. And holding it right onto the curb. Trying to carry as much speed through there as I can. And back off the power. Let it just turn in slowly. Change the direction. And slowly put the power on. Definitely think you can go a little bit tighter through there, but I will take that. And we're still pulling away. And what is the gap? Oh, look at that, over 4 seconds. So we're definitely pulling away at nearly a second a lap. It's nicely done through there. Just try not to bin it right onto the curb. 5-second gap now. Let's turn it in. Let's see if we can just hold it around here as tight as possible. I think this is going to be our quickest lap. It's been a really smooth lap, this one. And again, look at the tyres. The tyres look pretty decent. They haven't worn as much around here as they did around Mugello. Right, hold it through here. Oh, that's nicely done. Let's see if we can nail this last chicane. Carry as much speed through there as we can. Oh, that was nicely done. And to the line. This is definitely going to be the fastest lap of the race. And over the line. What? I didn't see what the speed of that lap was.
Well, the riders complete a victory lap.
But we win the race.
Let's
Oh,
check out the final race
150.8. Fantastic. What a race. But we're definitely going to need to up the level. We were just too fast for the AI on 105. So let's put it on 110%. And then we'll go into the second race in Germany. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some good conditions for that race.
Is the cherry
but that puts us in an awesome position. So that's 3 out of 3. We're going to be on 75 points. And we're going to be running away with this championship. There's 4 more rounds to go. And we're going to gain some more points, obviously, that we can spend once we move up to the higher ranked bikes into Moto 3. Right, let's get straight into the menu and change the options. Right, let's quickly change the options. Let's put it up another 5%. And the next race is going to be 5 laps. I said it would be more around the Sachsenring. And this is going to be an awesome circuit to race around. I cannot wait for this. So let's get straight into it. Fingers crossed we get some good conditions, because I think a dry race around here would be absolutely amazing. So let's get straight into it and see if we can get on the podium again. So here we go.
There's already a lot of excitement inside the paddock, and in a few minutes race direction will signal the start of that all-important qualifying session.
Right, so it looks like it's going to be another wet qualifying session. This is going to be interesting, and also we've upped the level, so let's see if we can compete with the AI. So here we go. Right, let's try and push it a little bit harder into this turn this time. And someone's just put in a faster time, a 1:34.6, and we're still miles off the pace. We're at least 2.5 seconds off that time. And we're really struggling in these wet conditions around this circuit. It's not very forgiving, and hopefully we don't crash anymore. We've only got, oh god, we only got 3 minutes left. And I can't really afford to use another set of tyres, so just going to have to push this as much as we can. And that wasn't a very good first sector. Let's see if we can get a bit of slipstream. I'm really struggling just to put the power down, but we should be able to just latch onto this rider. Don't get in our way. Oh, don't go on the curbs in the wets. And we just managed to slip past, but oh damn, we're still quite a bit off the time. Let's see if we can carry a little bit of speed through here. We seem to be quite quick through this sector. This is where we need to make up our time. We're on the outside. I don't really want to be on the outside there. And that's going to cost us a bit of time. Oh my god. Oh, how did I stay on? Wow. That was a bit of a save. And we just managed to get through there. But we've dropped some time through that moment. We're just over a second off the time. We need 2 very, very good corners here. Right, so we've gone a little bit wider than I would have liked. Right, drive it down this section. final corner. If we can get a good final corner, we might be able to take a few tenths out that and hopefully get a better position than what we've got. And over the line, what sort of time we're going to get? A 1:35. Oh, that's not bad. And we move up to 4th. But let's go on another lap. Right, so that is the end of the qualifying session, and we qualified in 4th position, quite a bit off the fastest time set by David Salvatore, 1:33.8. We were nowhere near that pace, especially in those conditions. But anyway, let's get straight into the race and just see if we can battle for a podium finish. So here we go.
Then today's race will begin. Right now, we're at the starting grid, waiting for the riders to receive. Everything is ready to start here at Sachsenring. Concentration is at the max because it's extremely important not to lose positions early on this track.
Right, so here we go with the race in Germany around the Sachsenring. We've got dry conditions for the race. Let's see if we can get a decent start and push for a podium position. And off we go. Like the commentator said, we can't afford to lose any places in this first corner, so let's see if we can take a decent line. We've managed to take a couple of places. We've gone on the outside of Salvatore. Can we just pull the front in? And that's not too bad, but we just might lose second. No, we've just managed to hold on to second, and we're in behind the leader. We know he was super quick in those wet conditions, so what sort of time is he going to be in the dry? But we've just got to try and live with his pace. We're really struggling to turn it into that corner, just trying to get some temperature in the tyres. Let's try and get it nicely turned in. This can be a very, very challenging circuit. It's very hard on the tyres, and we've got 5 laps of this, and we've just dropped second place. We've been taken in the inside there. We're just being forced out a little bit wider, but that's just trying to hold our position. And we've managed just to snick in the inside, and we're going to go back past into second, back behind David Salvatore. But can we push it back up the hill? We've been overtaken again. Can you believe this? Unbelievable scenes here on the first lap. Loads of overtaking going on, but can we just hold on to it? We've gone onto the curb. We don't want to be there, and that's something that we don't want to push too hard, especially when the tyre wear gets down very low. Right, we're pushing it back down the hill. Can we just push and get closer to second position? We want to stay in touch with these. We've got 5 laps. There's going to be a chance for us to push for second. We might not be quick enough for first position, but second would be a decent result. Right, drop it into this corner. Can we just get a little bit of slipstream going back up the hill? And that is the first lap out the way. Can we push hard on this second lap? Now we've got a bit of heat in the tyres. Right, we're going down the outside. Can we get past him? Oh no, he's just got in front of us, but can we just get the inside? No, he's blocked us off, and that is a good move there. Can we just get a drive around the inside and turn it in? And we've managed just to move into second, but can we hold this position? Because I know he's going to come back in the inside. Right, just hold it. And we've gone a little bit wider. That gives him the space to come past, and he's gone back past, but we've done a switchback move, and we've gone back in front of him, and we're back into second. Oh, the battle I'm having here for second is unbelievable. And we're just losing pace with first position. He is literally running away with the race, but we thought that might happen. I mean, he was so much quicker in the wet conditions in qualifying, so it's no surprise it was going to happen in the dry conditions. But I'm pushing as hard as I can on this second lap. We need to make up some time. We need to put in some fast laps. So let's see if we can push a little bit harder here. I'm just trying to hold it into the turn. Oh, that was much sweeter through there. And starting to feel that this circuit is much better in the dry. You feel like you've got a little bit more grip in the corners. Right, driving it down the hill. Can we get nice and tight in to this left-hander? And we're definitely getting a little bit more speed through there. And we're just slowly catching first place. A little bit here and there. Let's see if we can take a good final corner here. And we've dropped in nicely. And again, taking a nice corner. But did you see the reaction from the back? We just powered a little bit too soon. And the fastest time by the leader is a 1:31.6. And we've just beaten that. We've set the fastest time. Oh, I actually thought it was him. So we're definitely on the pace. Right. Let's just try and hold it in this turn. Can we gain a little bit of time? Really trying to push as hard as I can and try not to make any mistakes, and just try and stay focused and just trying to push it, but I don't want to push it too hard. I don't want to slide off. And again in this turn, and the tyre wear looks pretty decent on the third lap, but I guarantee you that on the final lap the tyre wear is going to be pretty low, and pushing it around these turns is going to be almost near impossible. So we don't want to have to overtake him on the final lap. Let's see if we can catch up. If we can, let's take a little bit more speed through this turn. And this is where we know that we can just push the bike a little bit more. And again, holding it as tight as possible through there, and that was as sweet as anything. Now we're really starting to push this bike to its limit. Can we get an even faster lap? So let's see if we can drive it down this section. So get it nicely turned in. We've gone a little bit wider than I would like. Can we just push it a little bit harder? Again, just tapping on the power a little bit too early. And I mean, that could be a problem when the tyres get a little bit less wear. And that's a nice drive up the hill. Can we get any slipstream? And it looks like we're going to have an opportunity to pass. And again, we've set a decent lap time of 1:31.6. That is really, really good. Right, let's see if we can slow it down into this turn and try and make it stick. And oh, this is going to be close. And yes, we've managed to take the lead and we've made it stick. But is he going to try and get past in this slow corner? We've got to be careful. Don't give him any space to get past, and I'm trying to hold it as tight as I can into these turns, and that's nicely done again. And again, just trying to not push it too hard. And oh my god, he's come flying into the inside, and we've been overtaken by Alcantara again. Can you believe that? Wow. Let's see if we can just hold this section and try and gain a little bit on him. And we're trying to push as hard as we can, but he's managed to pull away as well. That is really, really frustrating. Wow, he came into that turn so quickly as well. They carry so much more speed in certain corners, and that's where you've got to be so careful. Right, so we're quite a bit behind now. We've dropped almost 0.8. Let's see if we can just gain a little bit in this turn. And that's not too bad. Trying to drive it down this section. See if we can gain a little bit of time on him through this corner. Again, that's not bad, but we need to gain some slipstream going into the final lap. So we just dropped off the pace on that lap. Let's see if we can just get a little bit of slipstream and see if we can just get in the inside. We're going to have to brake really, really late here. This is going to be a bit of a risk. Can we get in the inside? And we're going side by side into that turn. And that was a decent overtake, and we're in the lead. But we know he has got the pace, and he's going to fight back already. And he's going to come back into the inside. Can we hold it onto the apex, trying to close the gap? And I actually think the tyre wear is starting to go off a little bit now, so we're going to have to be really, really careful we don't push too hard. It's starting to get really tense on this final lap. Let's just try and hold it in this left-hander. I can still hear him quite close behind. We can't afford to make any mistakes. Let's try and get nice and tight onto this corner. Get as close as we can to the apex. That's not too bad. Now driving it up this section. This is a sector that we seem to be quite quick through. Trying to hold as much speed through there as we can. And again, another left-hander. This needs to be perfect. Again, that's not too bad. Get nice and tight onto the apex through there, and that was nicely done again. And now driving it back down the hill, but I think someone has managed to gain a little bit of time on us. Someone's running down, and he's only 0.4 behind. We can't afford to make any mistakes into these last couple of corners. Let's try to get a little bit tighter and just be careful. Trying to tap the power on. Oh my god, did you see that? I did just panic for a moment. I thought I was going to lose the rear end. Right, final corner. Are we actually going to win this epic battle around the Sachsenring in Germany? I think we're going to. And there we go. Wow, what a race. The best race I've had so far on MotoGP 19. And we came out on top. And we even had the fastest lap. Wow, that was unbelievable. God, I enjoyed that. Right, so we get into the standings and we've got 100 points, 4 out of 4, and that was the most fun I've had on a MotoGP game in a while. I totally forgot what I used to love. I didn't get this on MotoGP 18, but MotoGP 19 is here and I'm loving it. Yeah, it's not perfect. There is a few things that need to be improved. It's glitching a little bit. There's been some problems with the grid where bikes have started in front. When people crash, there's a little bit of a glitch, but apart from that, it is brilliant, guys. I'm definitely saying now, go out and buy it. I don't think you will be any way disappointed, but we will see. we will see. It's still early days, but I'm just getting overexcited now. Anyway, that is the end of today's episode, and we go to Austria in the next episode. Please stay tuned. Don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, subscribe, and all that stuff. I really appreciate all the support, and I will see you very, very soon.